In association football, a substitute is a player who is brought onto the pitch during a match in exchange for an existing player. Substitutions are generally made to replace a player who has become tired or injured, or who is not performing well. There may also be tactical reasons such as bringing a striker on in place of a defender when goals are needed. Players who are noted for scoring important goals when coming off the bench or frequently making appearances as a substitute are often known as super subs. Most competitions only allow each team to make a maximum of 3 substitutions during a game, although more substitutions are often permitted in non-competitive fixtures such as friendlies. History: the origin of football substitutes goes back to at least the early 1860s as part of English public school football games. The original use of the term substitute in football was to describe the replacement of players who failed to turn up for matches. For example, in 1863, a match report states, "The Charterhouse 11 played a match in Cloisters against some Old Carthusians, but in consequence of the non-appearance of some of those who were expected it was necessary to provide 3 substitutes." The substitution of absent players happened as early as the 1850s, for example from Eton College where the term emergencies is used. Numerous references to players acting as a substitute occur in matches in the mid-1860s where it is not indicated whether these were replacements of absent players or of players injured during the match. The first use of a substitute in international football was on April 15, 1889, in the match between Wales and Scotland at Wrexham. Wales's original goalkeeper, Jim Traynor, failed to arrive. Local amateur player, Alf Pugh, started the match and played for some 20 minutes, until the arrival of Sam Gillam, who took over from him. As early as the qualifying phase for the 1954 World Cup, substitutions were permitted during games, the first ever replacement being Horst Eckel of Germany during their match with the Saarland on October 11, 1953. The number of substitutes usable in a competitive match has increased from 0 to 1, to 2 out of a possible 5 in 1988, 2 plus 1 in 1994, and then to 3. English and Scottish leagues. Substitutions during matches in the English Football League were first permitted in the 1965-66 season. During the first 2 seasons after the law was introduced, each side was permitted only 1 substitution during a game. Moreover, the substitute could only replace an injured player. From the 1967-68 season, this rule was relaxed to allow substitutions for tactical reasons. On August 21, 1965, Keith Peacock of Charlton Athletic became the first substitute used in the Football League when he replaced injured goalkeeper Mike Rose 11 minutes into their away match against Bolton Wanderers. On the same day, Bobby Knox became the first ever substitute to score a goal when he scored for Barrow against Wrexham. Archie Gemmill of St Mirren was the first substitute to come on in a Scottish first-class match, on August 13, 1966 in a League Cup tie against Clyde when he replaced Jim Cluny after 23 minutes. The first official substitute in a Scottish League match was Paul Conn for Queen's Park vs Albion Rovers in a Division 2 match on August 24, 1966. Previously, on January 20, 1917, a player called Morgan came on for the injured Morrison of Partick Thistle after 5 minutes against Rangers at Fear Hill, but this was an isolated case and the Scottish League did not authorise substitutes until 1966. In later years, the number of substitutes permitted in Football League matches has gradually increased. At present each team is permitted to name either 5 or 7 substitutes depending on the country and competition, of which a maximum of 3 may be used. In England, the Premier League increased the number of players on the bench to 5 in 1996, and it was announced that the number available on the bench would be 7 for the 2008 September season. Relevant laws. According to the laws of the game, a player may only be substituted during a stoppage in play and with the permission of the referee. The player to be substituted must have left the field of play before the substitute may enter the field of play. At that point the substitute becomes a player and the person substituted ceases to be a player. The incoming player may only enter the field at the halfway line. Failure to comply with these provisions may be punished by a caution. A player who has been substituted may take no further part in a match. unused substitutes still on the bench, as well as players who have been already substituted, remain under the authority of the referee. These are liable for misconduct, though cannot be said to have committed a foul. For example, in the 2002 FIFA World Cup, Claudio Caniggia was shown the red card for cursing at the referee from the bench. Under the laws, the referee has no specific power to force a player to be substituted, even if the team manager or captain has ordered their player to be substituted. If a player refuses to be substituted, play may simply resume with that player on the field. However, in some situations players may still be liable to punishment with a caution for time wasting or unsporting behavior. A player who has been sent off may not be substituted. The team will have to make do with the remaining players. In the case of a goalkeeper who is sent off, such as in the 2006 UEFA Champions League final, the coach will usually substitute an outfield player so that the backup goalkeeper can enter the game. According to the laws of the game, up to a maximum of 6 substitutes may be used in any match played in an official competition organized under the auspices of FIFA, the confederations or the member associations. Also, in national A-team matches, up to a maximum of 6 substitutes may be used. In all other matches, a greater number of substitutes may be used provided that the teams concerned reach agreement on a maximum number. The referee is informed before the match. If the referee is not informed, or if no agreement is reached before the match, no more than 6 substitutes are allowed. Super sub. The term super sub refers to a substitution made by the manager that subsequently saves the game, generally by scoring a late equalizing or winning goal. Players regarded as super subs include David Fairclough for Liverpool, Adam Lafonda for Reading, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Javier Hernandez for Manchester United, Eden Dar 3/4 Eco for Manchester City, Enrique for Brisbane Roar and Archie Thompson, Joshua Kennedy, and Tim Cahill for Australia. References